say, Lola?
It says stop streaming.
So you are streaming. I mean, there might be a bit of a delay getting to the website.
Okay.
Could be as much as 10 or 15 seconds, but it says that your feed is good, Lola.
Yep.
Oh yeah, here it's booting up now. I'm seeing I didn't see your scroll. I only see your slideshow.
Yeah.
So the scroll didn't show.
So, yeah.
Yeah, now it is live. I can see it.
Yeah. And this is just was something to it seems that to have some scrolling and something branded or whatever to because there are some delays in all of this, so you've got something, so when it cuts in, it cuts into something. Yeah.
It gives you a buffer, yeah, for going
Yeah.
live, because you don't know exactly when it's going to start. And over the next week, we're going to work on adding a timer so that when people do join, the timer will be counting down and telling them exactly how
Yeah.
many minutes till the show starts, so that they know it's not going to be an all-day slideshow.
So now what I'm doing is I'm just watching the time on the monitor to move into the actual intro.
And did you decide you're going to introduce the show and then go to the intro, or are you just going to go straight to the intro?
You know what? There was something I should have turned off, wasn't there? So I bet you we're going to hear this conversation.
I think we will, yeah. You probably have to turn off your desktop audio from
Yeah.
Zoom into the stream, but that's okay. I mean, if you can get out there live today,
That's a good thing.
we can go back and look at the recording and we can refine it for next week.
Right.
It's like I said yesterday, you start with the basics and you add one thing every week, and
Yeah.
in 2 months from now, it'll be a stream that NBC will be looking to hire you to do.
You're right.
Makes a lot of sense.
And all I did with this is I just went to some of our Hangouts before, and it just clipped out some visuals. That's how I did it. Because within OBS you can create a slideshow. Okay, it's 9 o'clock, so maybe I will go to the event. So good morning and welcome to the Being Your Own CEO Success Circle. We are about to go live, so hang on to your hat. So good morning, everyone. Welcome here. This is the Being Your Own CEO Success Circle in a brand new format. So my name is Lowell Ann, and I've been in business for several years, helping people get to where they want to go through coaching and consulting. So, as our first order of business this morning, we're going to do some introductions. So, as usual, on another platform, I usually ask the first person who came in to introduce themselves. So, Vivek, how would you like to introduce yourself?
Namaste. My name is Vivek, and I try to simplify things. Often it ends up more sophistication and but my aim is to simplify things. So that's what I do. VivekTechnology.com is my website, and
So, welcome here, Vivek.
thank you.
Bill, how about you? I think you were next.
Sorry, I got a little distracted in the comments, but my name is Bill Graham. My website is billdoesbelize.com, where I share unbiased information, or what I refer to as the unbelievable truth, for folks that might be thinking of moving to a developing nation, and in particular Belize. So yes, I'm glad to be here, part of this experiment. We will be bringing some comments in, hopefully. So if there's anybody out there, please leave your comments. Let us know what you think of the new format. If you have any questions, ask away. I'm sure we can answer them. And that's it for me.
Thank you, Bill. And I have to tell everybody, just in case you are unaware, this is all going live streaming through OBS, and Bill has been there for the last 2 weeks as I was learning how to do this. So I want to publicly thank you, Bill. Roland, I think you were the next person here.
Hi, thank you, Lo-Ann. Roland from MinMax Media, bringing you the minimum you need for maximum impact. And it's a very interesting experience. Today, it's sunny in Southern California, but it's cold as heck. Well, not compared to cold as some places in the world, but it's all relative. So anyway, nice to be here, and I'm having fun experimenting with this new platform.
Aha. Well, I'm so glad you came. So, Jay, I think you were next. Got a new hairdo this morning.
Scrambling around figuring out how you, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So, Roland, I beat you in the weather department. We had a tsunami warning this morning at 1:30 a.m. That was pretty wild. Turned on the TV at about 1:30 in the morning. Saw nothing but red screen, and then the words tsunami warning. Oh, that's interesting. So that was fun. That was a fun morning. I'd like to say my company is Magi Studios, and we help people get started in the world of online marketing through coach, consulting, and training. Back to you, Lala.
Right on. I'm glad you made it. So, Heidi, how are things for you this morning?
It's evening here. It's really dark, and I'm fine. And I'm really glad. Oh, I'm Heidi Hörnlein from Italy, I have to say. And I have the wisdomfactory.net as the broadcast platform. And in this, I'm very interested in what you are doing today. For instance, I don't know what OBS is. I know Zoom, but I didn't know that you can put it into the plugin. So I'm very, very interested in how you did that, because I might use it too.
Oh, well, welcome here. So OBS stands for Open Broadcast System. It's an open sourced thing, so it's free, and you download it to your system, and then it allows you to create various scenes where you can bring your Zoom in, because Zoom does not broadcast or live stream automatically to YouTube. So by using OBS through your settings, it will allow you to live broadcast your Zoom into YouTube Live. So there's a bit of a learning curve, I must say, but we are all learning. So yeah, we can sort of talk about that a little bit more. Now, I just wanted to pick up on something Jay said. I have an emergency measures thing that shows up on my text messaging on my phone, and I had my phone turned off by mistake. And so I didn't hear the text message when it came in. I had a girlfriend that works in emergency measures who phoned me twice, and I didn't hear the phone. So I was totally oblivious. So for anybody who's interested in knowing what happened, there was an earthquake up close to Alaska. And as a result of that earthquake, I believe it was 7.2 or something, or 7.9 on the Richter scale. And so there was a warning went out, and on this morning's news, CBC here, apparently in Tofino, over on the west coast of the island here, they have sirens that go. And so it was a great test, but as it turned out, there wasn't a tsunami. So it got, the tsunami warning got canceled. So,
Oh, competing with Hawaii.
Yeah.
Someone pressed the wrong button.
Well, I think they really kind of thought there would be one because it was close here, close by here, but I guess nothing happened. So anyway, I thought, wow, isn't that all these warning things that I have set up? And I'm still totally oblivious. So
Yeah, they have, when there are earthquakes, they have buoys in the sea, and when enough of those are transmitting a signal, then they bring out the warning.
Right.
But it can also be that then it shuts down the movement, so you cannot really predict it. But better a warning too much than a warning less. So.
absolutely.
Lola, I thought I would just mention I am monitoring the stream over on your website.
Mm-hmm.
And something to be aware of for future streams is that your desktop notifications do show up in the stream. So
My
that's
goodness.
something you'll have to put on your checklist, or for anybody else, put on your checklist to make sure you shut off your desktop notifications.
Desktop notifications. Okay. Thank
But
you.
that's why we're testing it.
We are.
It's not going to be perfect today, but next week it'll be better, and the week after it'll
Yeah.
be better, and
Yeah. So
in
just
3 or
to
4 weeks it'll be bestest.
So to let you all know why this is happening is I've had 3 meltdowns using Hangouts. And it just appears that Hangouts is no longer, Chrome or Google doesn't seem to be paying much attention to Hangouts. So it was on my mind to find an alternative. And so I think I've played with Zoom a little bit on a personal level, because if you can record something, and it's quite good. But the platform seems to be more stable than the Hangout platform, and you can have quite a number of people here, and I can see everybody right now. I'm monitoring what's going on in my OBS platform. So yeah. So, but this also allows me to be able to play my intro and do that. Bring all that in. You can set that all up and have it all sort of working. So, What else do I need to tell you about the reason for doing this? in the spirit of experimentation, trying new things. I guess maybe this might be a new bright and shiny thing. Whatever.
Nolan, I immediately have a question. Do you have set it on speaker view, or do you have it on gallery view?
I
Because it
have it.
seems in-
I have it on gallery view just because I feel better about being able to see everybody at the same time.
Yeah, but in the broadcast there comes 6 little pictures together. So I'm wondering if you could just, I mean, we do a trial today. If you could change that, and then we see how it comes out in the
Okay.
broadcast.
Yeah, I did just change it.
Okay, so we
Yeah.
have to wait a moment and see how it comes.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
that's something that you can select for yourself personally as a participant. You can select speaker view or gallery view, whatever you prefer.
But only when you are on Zoom, only when you are inside Zoom, but not here is the broadcast. We are broadcasting. So on the, now I see only one person there.
But the host gets to see what the viewers see. So if you want to see something other than what the host wants the viewers to see, then you can select that for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but not on the website. On the website now, I see there is Lowell N in a little corner on top, and probably because you are the host. And who is speaking has the big screen.
Yes.
Right.
So this is
And
interesting.
that's strictly Lowland's choice as the host of the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it directs what is shown on YouTube. That's important.
Yes. So whatever I'm seeing, whatever way I've got it set, it shows up in OBS, and that is what transmits to YouTube.
Yes.
Yeah. But for me, I like the other view because I like being able to see everybody's face. So this morning I really didn't have a topic. I just this was just strictly an experimentation to see whether we could get everything working, and I may, for example, on in terms of the recording. I maybe should have turned off a certain mic here, so it'll be interesting to see what shows up, what gets recorded, audio wise, during the whole thing. So, yeah. So, but the interesting thing is that I can play my scrolling start and a branded intro and my usual intro, and it plays as part of the streaming, but you folks don't have to listen to that every week. So that might be a major benefit.
I have to say another thing. Before you started, I could hear you on the website.
Yeah.
So your words were transmitted. So probably you were not aware that you were already streaming before you began with the intro.
Yeah, and that's another setting, just to shut that Zoom off. And that's something that we'll work on for next
Yeah.
week. Lolan, I have a comment I'd like to share if that's
Please do. Yeah.
if it's okay right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's from Lon McClure, who's joining us. I'm hoping you're seeing it on the screen. He says, hearing you in the green room, so that just confirms what Heidi said and what we believe to be true. So be careful what we say. It's already too late. We've already said it. We make no apologies for what we may have said. But yeah, we are able to bring in the BCP plugin, which is another cool feature that Lowland didn't want to give up, because that audience interaction is so important.
Mm-hmm. So the other thing that everybody might like to be aware of is that Chipmunk, which is a system that Vivek created for me, I was able to use. I was able to use it in the same way as I've always used it, just knowing exactly what to input. What's this?
Oh, can you hear me?
Yep.
Oh, I'm just testing out the screen share. That's all. I'm
Yep.
Yeah.
This is
That is, it takes over the entire screen and it broadcasts it out to. So what you're sharing is now being broadcasted.
sure. I don't have a problem with that, but okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so Lowland does not have control to not show that.
Well, in her settings, she can make it so that you can't screen share.
Yeah.
So
I
she
see.
does have some control, but
Which I wouldn't do because we all are, doing things and sharing things. So that's a setting that I would not use.
and that's part of the participants learning how it works.
Mm-hmm.
That was why I had asked for permission to screen share, because typically in the Hangout, I would just screen share and it would show up in my thumbnail. It wouldn't take over the whole screen, and then Lowland could acknowledge that and white box it. But here, it actually takes over the whole screen.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well, I'll go stand in the corner for a few minutes.
you're fine. That's how everybody is going to learn.
Yeah, Loveland, you were saying something about chipmunk. I'm just, as someone who developed it, curious as to how you got the.
Well, it works almost the same way. Like I opened Zoom, and then there's a button at the bottom that says share, or no, it says invite. And so when I clicked that, I got the link, and then I just input it into the chipmunk for the green room.
Green room.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And then for the viewers, no different. I input the link to the VCP page. Okay. And let's see. So and then when you set this up to start, you start off in the same way. You start off in YouTube and set this all up, and so I get the link from that, and that's what goes into the VCP page. So I mean, basically there were not very many differences.
No.
But let me understand. You start the broadcast on YouTube, and how do you get Zoom into YouTube?
Through OBS. OBS streams to YouTube.
Okay,
No,
so there's a choice. I will have a look in it, and tomorrow we'll try it out.
Yeah, and Heidi, for your information, because you use VCP, I'm not sure if you're using Chipmunk,
No.
but yeah, the setup was virtually identical.
It was. It really was.
Okay, that would be really a big relief because it's so unpredictable. The only thing which we don't have here is the lower third, no, with the names.
Well, and you can create that using the virtual backgrounds. I mean, I created a lower third for myself, and I can just show you. But yeah, if you enable virtual backgrounds in Zoom, it's part of Zoom, you can actually change your images that you have behind you. And because the image is a background image, if you create a lower third, it may end up behind you. So I've compensated by creating an upper third that I can keep out of the way. So yeah, I mean, that's one of the nice things about Zoom is you can do your branding with virtual backgrounds.
Oh, this is great. This is great.
So I'm going to show you what my background for me looks like.
This is funny. That's only your head showing up and floating in the.
Very important to be sure you don't wear a shirt that's the same color.
Same color as your background. Which
or
is
you literally become a talking head.
yeah, which is why I didn't turn it on this morning. I realized I put on the wrong shirt. So.
And there's actually a guy who does YouTube videos that uses the green screen and purposely wears a shirt that's the same color so that he is a talking head. Sometimes it looks kind of cool. Sometimes it's a little bit frightening.
Yeah. So Heidi, if you're interested in this whole OBS thing, you'll need to connect with Andrew. Andrew Hatchett. He's got an OBS course going, and we all get together and talk about it, etc., etc. So there is a learning curve. I have to tell you, it's and if you can go on YouTube and find all kinds of instructional videos, but this was developed for gamers. So all of the instructions tend to be kind of more game oriented. And so Michael Daniels, Bill, do you know if he, that thing we did on Saturday, did he share that with everybody, or is that just
No,
that's just
that was-
inside the H&M community?
By the way,
That was
is your
just
name
inside the H&M community, yeah.
Okay.
is your name Michael Daniels? There is the call to his channel and another channel of the Andrew Hatchett community that we subscribe to them, because very soon you need to have 1,000 subscribers to get monetization on YouTube.
Yeah.
And those are two channels who are nearby. About 100 are missing, so maybe we can help them to
Absolutely.
to do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, it's useless because I have 160 or
Yeah.
108.
Yeah.
So until
Yeah.
18th of February, we won't make that.
No.
It's also because I don't know Lowell but I always forget to ask people to subscribe to the channel. We had a lot of viewers in the meantime, but I don't think anybody has subscribed.
Right.
So you should ask them.
That's true. Okay, guys, would everybody please subscribe to my YouTube channel? Yeah.
And Lolan, if you don't mind, I know you mentioned Michael, but I'd like to give a shout out to Michael. I mean, you and I spent a lot of time working on this. There was a few things that we needed ironed out.
Mm-hmm.
And Michael and Andrew in User to User Live
Yes.
were a tremendous help.
Yeah.
Not just his tutorials that we're a member of the community for, but just going to the user to user thing and being able to ask questions.
Yeah.
And Michael is a great source of anything tech, and he's very patient and more than happy to share what he knows.
And I don't, he doesn't approach things as a gamer. I mean, his approach is more in line with what we want to do.
Yeah, and that was the big benefit for us, is that he does what we do
Yeah.
and what we're trying to accomplish. And if you want to see, I mean, what the power of OBS is, I mean, go to Michael's channel and check out one of his plus word shows where he brings in timers, he arranges teams, he's got beautiful backgrounds, he can bring in comments. And I mean, that is where I hope to be one day. I expect it'll take me 3 to 5 years to get to where Michael is.
No kidding.
And when I do, he will have advanced another 3 to 5 years, and I'll have a new goal to hit. But
Okay, so given the experience here, there are 6 of us. What's everybody's impression of this Zoom? Do you think it's a place to stay in terms of our Tuesday morning exercise?
What I've noticed is one of the cool things about this Zoom is it has a statistics feature in the options panel, and so I've been benchmarking this based on what I use, like on how much resources Google Plus uses, and this is far less in terms of computer resources right now. So it's cool, and also some of the video settings are pretty cool. It's got an enable HD, you can take the HD off. There's a funny button that says touch up my appearance. It kind of gives you this Gaussian blur. There's rough J, and there's beautiful J.
that's because you're already perfect, Jay.
Oh, that's the curse I gotta live with. It's the curse I gotta live with.
And one of the other cool features as a webinar host is that it will actually track people's attention. So you can go back and see if somebody was paying attention to your thing, or were they off working in the background, or so there's a lot of cool features in Zoom once you get into it.
Yeah, it's got this mirror effect too. So you can enable it so if you look at my hat, that's that's Sombrio, which I assume is backwards to everyone. But if I change that, now it's not backwards.
Yeah, well, that's just your view. It actually streams properly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if I'm doing this, like if I'm going back, so people won't see that in the live video?
No, only if Lowland. The only thing people will see in the live video is what Lowland changes as the host and bring in.
Okay, so this would only annoy you guys, not the not the entire world.
No, it'll only annoy you, actually.
Right. Can you tell I have button ADD? It's like you just being a limo and putting the window up and down and touching all the buttons.
Well, that's the only way you learn anything. What does this button do?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I have another question. When I go to the lower line with all the commands, I have a record button. I wonder who knows better Zoom. When I hit the record button, can I record it too? Or is it only who hits it first?
No, Lowland as the host can give you permission to record, and it will download into a Zoom folder on your local computer.
But not on hers then. Only one person is recording.
Well, any number of people can record.
Okay.
Lowland as the host can record either to the Zoom cloud, or she can download it onto her local computer. But anybody can go in and ask for permission to record, and Lowland can grant that permission as the host, and then it will download to your computer.
So, Bill, if Heidi hit that record button, would I get something that asks permission?
You should get a notification from Heidi asking for permission.
Let us try that. And so, because Lowland, that could be a recipe for what we want to do together. Yeah. By the way, I've just posted a video about an excerpt of 11 minutes of the NICE research thing.
Oh.
Right on. And I already have created an ad for it. So I hope that somebody will see it, and then people come to you and to Jay, because I have put also his very much visible the website. So I hope it will come. So I press the record button, and then you see what comes. Please request record permissions from the meeting host. Okay.
I'm not seeing anything.
Where is it supposed to come up?
It probably would come up in your chat, but seeing as how you don't have chat today, Lowland.
Yeah. Maybe that's it. Huh.
Okay.
Do you mind if I share a comment?
Please do.
This is from Roland, actually, who's in here, who says, subscribers on YouTube, 1,000 now required for monetization, now in effect. And that actually goes into effect for people that are already in the YouTube partner program on February 20th. But the even more discerning thing about this whole new rule is that in addition to the 1,000 required subscribers, you also have to maintain 5,000 watch hours per year. So that's going to change, I think, how people are going to use YouTube, as far as whether you record short videos or long videos or that type of thing.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And sorry to get off topic about no tech today, or no topic today, but that is pretty important in the streaming world right now, I would say.
Yes, it is. Absolutely. So,
and do you have an idea why they do that? What is the difference? I mean, their machines can work that out easily. Why do the little ones have to pay again the non-possibility, let's say, because they are small?
Well, you could ask YouTube, and like everybody else who's asked, they probably just won't respond. So
yeah. No, but for me, it doesn't make sense, you know, because I mean, this is computers doing that. So why do we need to have 5,000 hours and 1,000 subscribers? I mean, it just doesn't make sense to me.
Well, that's not going to stop us from using it. It's just going to. I mean, it's. This is all about people who want to monetize their videos on YouTube. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for me, as a person who was never really interested in monetizing YouTube, I mean, it would be great to make 50 cents or $5 a month. I mean, but it's not going to stop me from using the platform. What I dislike is that when you reach plateaus, you get new tools from YouTube. So now the little channels are going to have to wait longer to reach those plateaus. But it's also going to, I think, I mean, in all the videos I put up in a year and a half, I never once thought to ask people to subscribe to me or to like my channel. And it's just going to make, I think, those call to actions that we should all be using anyway, more important.
Mm-hmm. Right. Absolutely.
I
So,
remember for the time when I was into Google Plus, that the first time I really realized how important it is to like things and to share things and to subscribe. And since then, whenever I can, you know, I'm not controversial to what the people say, then I do like it and I do subscribe and I sort of like it really. Instead, many people, and I did it before, just don't think about it, you know, just consumption and not even write comments. Comments would be good on YouTube videos too. And we should begin to do that too, much more.
okay, Roland, I haven't heard from you. What do you think of this platform? I'm pretty sure that the fact that it goes to VCP, that's one piece that's important.
I think it's very important that it goes to the VCP and enforces what the plugin is worth and the consistent value that it has for all of these platforms. I'm not exactly sure it's going to be the future of what I convey to my audience, because what it is for my audience is what is free, what is simple, what will get me there now, without the education, and be able to enable them to express themselves in the easiest way possible. So far, nothing competes with Hangouts if Hangouts was working right. But the front runner, other than that, would be the Go Lightstream. And they're in touch with me, and they're still hammering me for more feedback. So they're developmental right now, and they might get to a point where they iron out the problems, making them a good potential replacement for Hangouts. And by the way, I haven't seen anything in the OBS structure that we've done today that we couldn't either do without or at least emulate in Lightstream almost the same. So it's a different process, and it doesn't. Some things are not automatic. Lightstream does not have a lot of features that Zoom has, but it's free. So that's the tipping point.
And I think the reason I mean, we tried Lightstream, and I think the reason we didn't go there was because I couldn't do this group thing. It didn't fit my model.
Right. You can, we have 6 people in the green room right now. We're broadcasting 6 people. You can do that in Lightstream. You can go up to 8. But is it an easy thing to do? Well, is OBS easy?
No, it isn't.
Each thing is going to have its learning curve.
Yeah.
And it just depends upon what you get used to and how you want to produce it. So.
And like everything, it depends on what you've used before. I mean, I had a far easier time getting onto OBS than Lolan did. And that's nothing against Lolan. I mean, she just didn't have experience with this type of platform. But literally in 2 weeks, she streamed.
Yeah. So, and I like the fact that this allows me to be self-sufficient. I can set all the pieces up and do it in a self-sufficient way.
Yeah. And we had a lot of issues with Lightstream, whether it was resources or what it was. But yeah, we had a lot more issues, I think, with Lightstream Lowland than we
Yeah.
did with OBS.
Yeah. So,
That's probably because OBS is much more mature than Lightstream. OBS has been around for a long time, whereas Lightstream is fairly new as far as I can.
yeah. Okay, so Bill, if I'm in the process of, as everybody can guess, I'm in the process of sort of working through what the steps in my process need to be here to make this work. And so if I want to move into outro, then and allow everybody in the green room to keep on talking, I need to mute something. So would that be my mic or desktop? I guess it would be the desktop, wouldn't it?
Well, it would be your desktop, but I think what's going to happen is then you're going to mute. You're not only going to mute the Zoom, but you're going to mute the music for your outro. So, as far as the process goes, I mean, I think the only place you have to be concerned about people talking into the stream is in your 10-minute intro video.
Yeah.
So at that point, you would want to mute the Zoom going out to the stream, and then we could talk amongst ourselves in here without being heard.
Yeah.
But once you tell people we're going live, I think at that point you have to rely on the participants to just be quiet or to mute themselves.
Yeah.
And allow the intro to happen, the outro to happen. And then once you say, yes, we're off the air, we're not streaming anymore, then people can talk again.
Right.
And I mean, that's something we're going to look at this week, is how we can sort out your different sound inputs.
Yeah.
So that you can maybe mute the audio from the
Zoom and let the rest
music
of it
play,
go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So if there are no other questions, I will start the outro. And if anybody wants to stay with us and continue after we've stopped streaming, that's okay.
I think one thing I would add in the end is probably this is an experiment, so we'll be seeing the results ourselves and learn from that. So
yeah. It certainly is an experiment, and I have to say I was a little bit nervous about all of this, but it seems to have run, reasonably well. There'll be other little pieces that I need to refine, but from my end of things, it's okay. So what I will do is now...
Getting back to your question before you do that, your process to end the stream is going to be your intro,
My outro.
Your outro scroll, then go to YouTube and stop the stream there.
Yes.
Then come back here and stop the stream here.
Yeah. That piece I did remember. Okay, so I'm going to run the outro now, and just to see.
It's very low, the music.
That's because the music master wasn't in charge.
And what you're saying is probably streaming out, but what you're hearing is not what's being broadcast. So that's important to remember. And you're probably hearing the music through Lowland's external speakers.
In Zoom, there is this function,